Okay.
Okay, I call this meeting to order as of 4:58 with Commissioner Tony Lopez. And also we have, I'm sorry, I'm going back and forth, Commissioner Frank Holly Clemens. We have Staff Chief Kolowak and Chief Susan Zeka. We need the approval of the minutes for May 23rd, seeing, of course, I was the only one present, but I'll call forth to approve the minutes. I approve them. And,
Excuse me.
go ahead, interject.
There's a correction, even though I wasn't there on the very first page.
Go ahead.
Promotion, in parentheses, it says the commissioners congratulated Officer Sellis on the portion that should be promotion to sergeant.
Yes. Thank
I
you.
mean, that just jumped out at me, even though I'm not going to vote on it.
Thank you. Was that all?
Yes.
And do we have that noted?
I do, thank you.
Okay, great, awesome. Great, so seeing that we have one correction, I put a motion forth, and I motion that I approve the minutes since I was the only one in attendance, and Commissioner Clemens will
I abstain.
abstain. Okay, great, thank you. I'm looking at the agenda, bear with me, I'm sorry.
I think you might have missed that Deputy Chief Walsh is also in attendance tonight.
Okay. So that should be noted, correct?
Yep, I have him. Thank you.
Okay, great. Then we have on the next one, recognition, May Officer of the Month, Officer Raul Alderando. Is that correct? Alderando?
Just to
And
Just
Chief
to let-
Cole- go ahead, I'm sorry.
just so you know, for public comment, what is the next item? We don't have any attendees, anyone that I see want to make a comment, and I don't have any correspondence either.
Great, thank you, Chief. I went over that. Thank you so much. And then we have, of course, the promotion, and we already said, of Officer Michael Salas promoted to Sergeant, and there was a correction there. Moving along to Chief Clark's comment said that on May 14th, there was a vehicle stolen in South Norwalk.
No, that's
Oh,
That's the
those
minutes.
are the minutes from last meeting.
Oh, okay, excuse me.
We're done with that.
Move on,
the next item for us is patrol staffing.
which is on page. Which
That's-
page am I on? I'm trying to follow the page. I'm sorry.
It's right after, if you will remove the minutes, the next page is the operations report for Deputy Chief Walsh.
Page 6, got it. Okay. So we're on to the Norwalk Police Operations Report, correct?
Yes,
Right.
sir. Good
And,
afternoon.
That's for Deputy Chief James Walsh. You can.
Good
take
afternoon,
that
sir.
over. Thank you.
How are you?
Great.
For June 2022 operations report, there was 176 sworn personnel as of June 30th, leaving 5 patrolman vacancies. There was 195.25 sick days used. In June, there's 244 workman's compensation days used. Currently, we have 11 officers on long-term workman's comp with injuries. Detective Bureau activity for June 2022, there was 3 commercial burglaries, 2 residential burglaries. Motor vehicle burglaries have slowed down. There was only 6. There was 2 robberies, 1 larceny, 4 assaults, 1 shooting with 1 victim, another shooting with no victims, 4 death investigations, 2 overdose investigations, and 13 others. Detective Bureau had a busy month today, keeping very active with all the current background investigations for police applicants. They also investigated a subject playing Russian roulette with a handgun. He was arrested after a self-inflicted injury. And also they're investigating the hospital credit union burglary that occurred in the month of June. Special services activity for June. They opened up 22 cases. They made 13 felony arrests. They executed 11 arrest warrants. U.S. Marshal TFO David Geismer remains busy, located and apprehended a fugitive wanted for armed robbery who was wanted out of Florida. They also did 2 liquor compliance checks on Washington Street, the Taco House and the Elite Lounge with the state liquor control. Special Victims Unit activity in significant cases for June. They opened up 26. They remain busy at the end of the school year. 4 felony arrests, 4 misdemeanor arrests, 4 warrants, and 1 search warrant. They were very active in the security preparation programs for both high school and middle school graduations. They investigated a 72-year-old female with dementia. She was located successfully and organized a DARE summer camp in June, which was always a successful program. The traffic unit made 54 stops. They issued 33 citations, written warnings 20, and 1 verbal warning. Some of the selective enforcement locations, which are driven by mostly resident complaints, were Hunt Street, East Avenue in Lockwood, Fox Run, Devonshire, Deepwood, Knoll, Duck Pond, Marvin and East Rocks and Bain Street. Community policing and community services, busy planning the Juneteenth celebration. They attended the Clinton Avenue volleyball meeting with Chief Gahalik and the mayor. They organized the peace run, the prayer walk, and the fireworks preparation. Total criminal arrest for June 2022 was 163, and patrol division calls for service was 3,871. On our infractions report, in the month of June, we issued 118 total citations. There was 24 issued for traveling too fast, 14 for stop sign. Control signal is 10. No license 14, suspended license 1, no insurance 6, cell phone 1. Those are just highlighting some of our highest issuing tickets for the month of June.
And then we have the Norwalk Police Department training courses held. That would be under Assistant Chief Zecca, is that correct?
Deputy Chief Zecca, yes. So for the month of June, we had our teams training, our ESU tactical response team, our crisis negotiation team, and our scuba teams all had their monthly training. For review credit training, we were finishing up the cycle for officers, bloodborne pathogen training, de-escalation, domestic violence, fair and impartial policing, gangs, juvenile matters, so, citizens with special needs, such as autism awareness, DUI and drug driving, firearms, holding facility, mental health training, arrest and control, cultural awareness and diversity, legal updates, and weapons and permits. We also had a substantial amount of officers do their NCIC recertifications for this month. And then we also did annual training for use of force and also body worn cameras. We started training on our in-car cameras. We currently have in-car cameras now, and the officers were trained in their use. So those are now operational. And then in terms of any specialized trainings, one officer went to MOI, which is methods of instruction, to become a certified police instructor. And then we had 2 of our detectives go to an advanced interview school. And that about wraps up our training for the month of June.
Deputy Chief Zecca, just a question. Do all of our cars have the in-car cameras now?
Currently, we have about 40 cars with cameras, and there were just some logistical issues. We have another 15 that will additionally get cameras in the next few weeks. So we have a total of 55, and then we will be determining later on if we still need to add more. For budget constraints, that's where we're at with 55 dash cams.
Okay.
Or in-car cameras, I should say, because there's a camera that looks out the front windshield, but also in the rear compartment.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Then we have, not sure if I'm skipping here, correct me if I'm right or wrong, I'm on page 9 on the Mariah Dentrella, Bachelor of Science degrees, or did I skip too
Oh,
far?
yeah, no, that's correct.
If I could suggest, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 9 stipend requests. They're all for bachelor's degrees. They're all from our newest hires.
Yeah.
Just to save time, I would ask maybe for just one motion to approve all the bachelor's degree stipends. You have the diplomas in your packets.
Okay.
Okay,
Yep.
Chief,
Yep, yeah, well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Commissioner, I have counted 10 stipends for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have one concern about Macari. I believe that's who it is. The one that went to the University of Tampa. And he does not have his a copy of his degree. We have this letter that says that he completed all of the requirements on May the 20th. However, his degree date is going to be, on the official diploma, is going to be August the 13th, 2022. So Chief, my question to you is, does this cause any problem with approving his stipend, even though his degree is not going to be valid until August, and this is July that we're approving this?
That's really up to you. He has completed all the requirements successfully. It's just a matter of the official diploma date will list it as August 13th. So if you want to approve his as of August 13th, we could do that as well.
Yeah, I would like to pull his name out and make that exception for him, because I just don't feel comfortable with this being, this letter being sent by the associate registrar. I just want to be in compliance and, you know, approve it like everybody else has done.
Okay, so we're gonna have then the motion to approve the degrees and completions with the exception of Michael McCary. Is that correct?
To be effective, for Michael McCary to be effective August the 13th, which will be the official diploma date.
Okay, so the motion then is to approve all of the certificates that have been completed with the exception of Michael McCary, that's for effective date of August the 13th. Do we have then a motion to accept by the commissioner?
I accept that motion
Okay,
and vote affirmative.
okay, I'll second that. So the motion carries forth, and then we proceed to the, well, I should ask, we already did the, we already have your approval in mind, so it has been approved, correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
you're good with that. The last item is complimentary letters.
Let me catch up. Give me one moment. I'm looking online. I did not print this, so bear with me. What did you say the last item was? I apologize.
Complimentary
Informational
letters.
items.
Complimentary what?
It's informational items, but complimentary letters is what's left.
Okay. Okay, that's by way of email, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, great. So you want to speak to this, Chief Colawat?
Yeah, I'll just go through them, what I received. The first one is from Sheffield Island, or from the Stuart B. McKinney National Wildlife. Regarding the Norwalk Police Marine Unit's assistance, they transported volunteers back and forth to Sheffield Island for a major cleanup on the island and removed a lot of garbage off the island. A letter from the Rowan Center, which is a group that we work with regarding domestic violence victims. And they were applauding the efforts for Officer Tyrone Boyd on 2 occasions and work that he did with victims and his compassion that he showed and how he professionally handled their cases, or the victims' cases. I have a letter from the family of, or email from the family of Evelyn Cologne. Evelyn was murdered many years ago. It's a cold case homicide. It occurred in 1990, but our cold case unit took the case over, reviewed it. Detective Puglisi did extensive work on it. And the family was very appreciative of his efforts in trying to obtain a warrant for the suspect. Unfortunately, at this time, that has not been approved for several reasons, but they're very appreciative that he continued to work on it and realizes that he did all he could to bring that person to justice.
So I'm sorry, what has not been approved or brought forth? I missed that.
The arrest warrant for the suspect.
Okay, so, but is that expected to? I'm trying to understand that.
It's up in the air right now. It's up to the court.
Got it. Go ahead.
So at this time, there is no warrant pending.
Okay.
The next one is from, it's a resident who attended the forum that was actually held in Stamford. It was a community forum. Stanford hosted it, but they asked Norwalk if they'd like to participate in that forum, and Lieutenant Dinho attended for us, and they were very appreciative of his comments and the fact that we were there for the community forum on current issues. A letter from the family who won a ride on the police boat at one of the auctions, silent auctions. That's one of the donations that we often will give out to nonprofits. And they thanked Officer Lee for his how he handled the family and the kids that went on that marine boat ride along with him, and also Lieutenant Blake. This one was, the next one is hold on a second. Next one is from the Lightfoot Running Club, Don Capone. He was sent an email regarding the excellent work and the excellent attitude that Lieutenant Melissa LaPlore, who was working the event, handling traffic for their road race. They were very appreciative of her efforts and how personable she was, and et cetera. And then finally, the last is from the Westport Police Department. We had our motorcycle and Marine unit assist them with their fireworks on June 30th, and they wanted to thank Sergeant Lepak, Detective Lepak, Officer Lee, Officer Wasilewski for their work and assisting them with their fireworks. And similarly, they will often assist us as well. The agencies in this area, Darien, Stanford, all the agencies with Marine units will often assist each other because generally there's only 1 or 2 boats from each police department that are available for events like that. And that is it.
I just think it's wonderful that Detective Puglisi was really making some inroads and effort on his part. With the cold case, I think that really reflects the continued effort in the department to seek justice, if you will. I'm not understanding what the outcome might be, but it's suffice to say that his efforts should be commended.
Yes, I think his efforts should be commended, and especially for the mental settlement for the daughters, knowing that although the case was unsolved, someone continued working on it, even though they didn't know it. And when they found out about it, I mean, that's just such a comfort, even though we don't know how it's going to be resolved. The fact is that someone cared enough to continue looking for the truth. And I just cannot commend the citizens who take the time to write these emails and send these letters to us, tell them how our police department has impacted their lives for the positive. And that's always great to hear. Keep up the good work, Chief, Deputy Chiefs. Really proud of you.
Well, it's due to the work of the officers that are out there doing this every day. So we're fortunate.
Yes, absolutely.
And Chief, did you lose power back there? It just looks a little darker than what I thought.
No, the light behind me went out.
Okay. Got to pay the bills. All right, great. So is that it? Then we have on the agenda and we, because I see how we come to an end here. Is that correct?
That's
Right.
correct.
Our next meeting date is July the 18th,
That's today.
2022.
That's today. The next one's August.
August 6th, no, August 15th.
Oh, well,
August
they put the wrong thing on my agenda.
Okay, so we can correct that one.
Yes. So the next meeting is August.
15th, Monday, is that correct, Chief?
Yes.
I'm merely looking at the calendar, but don't know what, if that's.
Yeah, I can't find my agenda now, but
Okay.
it's the third
Yeah.
Monday of
It
August.
should be
what I
August
thought.
15th.
Yeah. So just make that correction on our agenda that the next meeting is August 15th. And I move for an adjournment.
Great, I was just gonna ask, do we have a motion to close? Thank you. So moved.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Have a great week.
Have a good
Bye,
night.
everybody. Have a good
Bye.
week.
Bye-bye.